your inner pages should be your most SEO'd, quote unquote, pages, whereas your homepage should be like your slickest page. It feels the best, it looks the best, and is really that inviting gateway. Welcome back to Local SEO Tactics, where we bring you tips and tricks to get found online. I'm your host, Jesse Dolan, here again with Bob Brennan, Sue Ginsburg.
Hello.
Answering all the SEO questions that you all are throwing at us, sometimes from listeners, sometimes from clients. And Sue, what do we got going on here today for this episode?
Today's question comes from a listener close to home for me, or close to the origins of home, Long Island. Thank you, Demetrius from Wantagh, Long Island. Question is, what is the function of the homepage? Is it for branding? Is it for SEO? Is it for call to action? What is the best way to set up your homepage so that it works the best to optimize your homepage to get found? Quote of the day today is, just because something doesn't do what you planned it to do doesn't mean it's useless. And that is a quote from Thomas Edison, which is great, because think of all the things that he may have thought were useless and found another way to use it, look at it, use it, whatever. So I really like that.
I'm going to tell that one to my wife.
Good call.
When she sees me on the couch and says, sorry.
I like it. It's good. Works well. Well, we speak to a lot of business owners who want a review of their websites to see how it can be improved for SEO. How can their website work harder for them to be found online? They tell us their keywords, and inevitably their primary keywords are nowhere to be found on the website. Case in point of this saying, the website may not be doing what you planned it to do, but that doesn't mean that it's useless. It just needs SEO experts to do their magic on it so you can rank higher and be found in searches for the keywords that will impact your leads the most. I totally understand how this is more common than anyone would think. Until I learned some of these tips and tricks for getting found online and attracting more leads, I wasn't counting keywords on each page either. Does this sound familiar to any of you business owners listening? Totally understandable. Of course, you want to show up more in searches for your services. That's where most business comes from these days. Just like we would never expect us to run your business as well as you do, we don't expect a business owner to know SEO as well as we do. So I think this question is on many business owners' minds. So let's hear what Jesse and Bob have to say about this, see if we can all get a little smarter and tell us about the purpose of the homepage, or purposes, and where it fits into SEO.
I'll probably start, Bob, from a technical perspective. And Sue, I like your quote because I think that actually is kind of fitting for the homepage. What I'm going to say here maybe has a connotation that the homepage isn't important, or that it's useless, I guess, to stretch, towards that end. But it's not, and what I mean by that is, like, first and foremost, the thing I want to say to that, Sue, is you don't really want your homepage ranking over your inner pages. And with all things SEO, it depends on that, right? So if you have multiple services, multiple products as a business, I'm talking to you in that context, that your homepage shouldn't be the thing ranking, or at least be the primary organic traffic source for your website. What we're going to want is your inner pages, right? Again, if you're auto repair, if somebody's searching for radiator repair, Minneapolis, I want them going to your radiator repair page specifically, not your homepage. Your homepage may have some other call to action or some main thing that's not radiator. And we want, you to meet that radiator information, radiator repair information. So we don't want your homepage ranking. We want your radiator repair page ranking, right? Same with your oil change page, with your brake job page, with your exhaust page, etc. If you're looking at your Google Analytics, which hopefully you have set up, or some kind of analytics for your website, if you go and just look at your organic traffic, you can quickly see for your own website, what is your primary sources, right? Where is it coming from? Is all my traffic coming in organically through my homepage or from my inner pages? And again, when I say inner pages, I mean those non-home pages, right? Your landing pages, your individual service pages, things like that. One of the main reasons for that, aside from that conversion thing I just said, like seeing the Radiator page, knowing I'm on the right spot, is also that your homepage from an SEO perspective can't do everything. When we look at a page from an SEO perspective, like for architecture, you've got certain core elements like your page title, which is what shows up in SERP, in the search engine results page in Google. That's what we all read. That's the main headline we click on if we're picking a result to navigate to. You only have so many words you can put in that. And if you have 3, 6, 10 different products or services you sell, you just can't put them all in there on that one page title. The same with once you get to your homepage, your main headline. You can't talk about everything in the headline, right? I forget the quote, but it's like you'd be generally good at everything and then be a master at nothing, right? Like when we talk SEO, we're ranking pages, not websites. And so each individual page really has to be a master about the thing that you want it to be ranked for primarily. And when you get things that just aren't closely related, like don't get me wrong, brakes, oil, radiator, they're all related to auto repair, but they're not, subsets of each other. You talk about brake jobs, there's disc, there's drum, there's different things, right? Rotors, pads. There's a subset within brakes that are more specific and aren't going to apply to radiator or oil changes. And so with your website, you want to have those individual pages. You want to have SEO on those pages about those particular topics. And then those things are going to rank and hopefully convert real good. You just can't do all that with your homepage. Your homepage is going to be very general if you talk about all these things and try to rank it for everything. So that's my take on it, Sue. I think your homepage is good. And I'll let Bob speak to a little bit more about, maybe the branding, call to action. It's still like a main gateway. It's going to be a main traffic source of your website. But from an SEO perspective, I definitely don't want it to see it as your main driver of traffic. I want your landing pages to be those main gateways. So again, within those, people are going to go back to your homepage. So you definitely got to put some energy into it. Bob, I'll throw it over to you if you want to talk a little bit about, again, that branding, that conversion side, and some things that your homepage is good for from a visual and conversion perspective.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 cents, I think if you go back and you look at some people's websites, and this is kind of interesting, there's a tool out there called the Wayback Machine?
Yep, Internet Archive, Wayback Machine. Yeah,
and you go back and you even look at whether it's your industry or your competitors or even your own site, we tried to pile all this information on that homepage. Mm-hmm. And it still kind of goes on today. I mean, it's tough. The bigger the organization, you want to pile as much stuff on there as you can. So it does act as a gateway. But to me, I look at it as a conversion tool where you've got a very limited time and space to answer the questions that your prospects might be asking. And I kind of look at it as what are let's say the most common 4 to 6 questions that your customers are asking you on a day-to-day basis that page can answer or help them resolve, right? Without getting too complex. And it could be things as simple as, are you authorized in this deal and, this brand of product, or, you know what I mean? But that, I think it acts as somewhat of a conversion tool.
Yep.
Because if you think about your homepage, it's oftentimes the landing page for, your URL for your business card and all your other marketing collateral. So when they land on that, it's really got to convert. It's got to speak to the questions that they ask in the sales process. And then the other part, in my mind, just making some notes here, and this might be something that I examine, is what are the 3 unspoken questions that your customers are maybe not asking you directly, but they want to know the answers to? And can you somehow convey that, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing plumbing? Are you licensed plumber? Are you, I don't know. I mean, do you have any warrants against you? I mean, I don't know, but those that's going to take some deep thought, some deep dive, maybe even depending on how much you want to invest in that, a third party to ask certain questions. And they could go so far as to say, what are the unspoken questions that are, you're not wanting to come out directly and ask, but you want to know. Does that make sense?
So it's really focused on conversion. It's edifications, trophies, awards, like anything that convinces people that we're good. You can trust us. This is our brand. We're strong. And again, the sentiment here is you're not using your homepage necessarily, for SEO and ranking. Don't get me wrong. If you're going to have a page, I mean, choose your keywords appropriately, right, and everything else, but don't have your homepage try to be ranked and showing and talking about all the products and services you have. To your point, Bob, like make it more of that trust gateway, that conversion gateway of your business card, maybe from your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, whatever. People going to your homepage are probably directly going there. And what impression do you want to make with that? Right?
Yeah. Personal testimonies, things like that, just to get them to maybe dig in further into the website. But you've got a finite period of time, and you better be effective at answering, the most relevant questions, and then, having one or two disruptive pieces of information there, like, wow, these guys, I got to call them. I got to find out more about these guys.
And I love your preemptive thinking, saying, what questions can I answer that people who are coming to the homepage want to know the most? And that's great. Like, that's a user-friendly website, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I think if you can dig deeper and speak to and maybe they're not, maybe in what order, and that's where you can do a little bit of A/B testing. But which ones have the most weight and cachet in terms of order or even boldness, and how whatever, 20 years in business and top picks for, this city's choice of plumbers and everything else that goes with it. Or, respond in a half hour, or you're 20% off your bill, whatever pains that customers are talking to you about, and they'll tell you, you just got to listen to it, right? And have your team listen to it and say, hey, they really didn't expect us to be out here this quick. Or, they really appreciated the fact we took our shoes off before we came in the home. And, all these subtle things that, you've got to get that inside perception out so people can see that, experience that, in a heartbeat, and say, I've got a lot of choices to make. These guys seem to tick all the boxes. I'm going to call them first. That's just my 2 cents.
You mentioned something earlier, Bob, I think is worth expanding on a little bit quick. I'm paraphrasing what you said, but basically the point is your homepage is also a jump off point. Like again, if you have 5 services, right, you should have a page for each service, and that's what we want ranked specifically for those keywords. But when people are on your homepage, you still want to provide them the navigation, whether it's a button or basically like sections, right? If you got 5 services, there should be a quick section on each of those services on your homepage. It's probably not going to rank for any of those, or at least that's not necessarily the intent. But you want them to be able to jump to the thing that they're looking for, make that clear, and just kind of have your homepage be this not only this edification type page, but also a jump off point to get to where they want to go. I think that's extremely important too. And I wanted to say that because I didn't want people to think like that I'm saying you want to rank your individual pages. Well, your homepage should still be the showcase for you as a business and what you have to offer. Just don't expect it to rank and put a lot of keyword emphasis, in all these things, because it's not going to rank for all of them, if any of them, right? But it still needs to speak to them when human beings are actually on the page. So,
and it's just, it's the starting point for all your other marketing collateral that people are going to show up off your business card or off your billboard or whatever marketing direction that you're going to give it. So,
And I think kind of back to Sue's like original question again from a like SEO perspective, it's important, but your inner pages should be your most SEO'd quote unquote pages. Whereas your homepage should be like your slickest page, like it feels the best, it looks the best, and is really that inviting gateway to take that next step towards an individual page.
Yeah, if people are typing in hot water heater repair or replacement, they shouldn't be showing up on your homepage.
Right.
I mean, they should be showing up on your hot water because that's got to speak to and convert them. Like, heck yeah, this is exactly what I need versus, I really don't want to find out about Bob and his 20 years in plumbing and his cool shop dog, Skippy. I need my stupid hot water heater replaced. That's where they need to land. But all the other stuff, if they want to find out about Bob and his dog and whatever else, it's great, but you get the idea, whether it's unclogging a pipe or whatever the case is, you need to land on that.
Yep. But
people that are doing the deeper dive and say, hey, I'm building a home, I need a plumber, I want to find out about these guys. You know what I mean? That's where I think that effort has to be put in. So
let me throw one more asterisk on there as you're saying that. I meant to mention this earlier, and I completely spaced out on it. If you are a single service, right? Or maybe it's not even a service in that nature, but more like your brand, like this is the one thing we do or one thing we offer. Then this is different, right? Because then your homepage is everything,
Yeah.
All the other pages really support the homepage with more information or, backup type stuff. Like Uber, right? Like if I'm searching for Uber, like their homepage, is where I'm going to land. So there is the things that I was talking about, at least from an SEO perspective. We're in the context of multiple services, multiple landing pages, unique pages, specific silos, things like that. But if you are much more of a one-trick pony or laser focused on a certain thing, then your homepage becomes your most important page, not only for all the things that you're mentioning, Bob, but also all your eggs go into that for the SEO as well. So,
Bob, I think something that you bring up leads me to a little different perspective on this. A lot of people who are coming into your website on a specific page based on what they searched will see, yes, you do what I searched for and want you to do, and then go to the home page. So the home page may not really be the home page or be where they first land. Then they want to know, who is this guy or who is this business? Are they legit? Are they experts in what I do?
Yep. After
they see that, yeah, you do what I just searched for and want you to do. That's really interesting insight, I think. Think about your website that way.
Which, again, I think underscores what you're talking about. It needs to be like confidence building in CTA, because in your example, Sue, if they're going over there, they're wanting more confidence. Like, all right, this was cool. They do water heaters. Mm-hmm. Let me learn more about them. Let me click on the homepage, right?
Right.
All right. Well, great double-sided, hopefully for everybody listening, information about your homepage. It's definitely multifaceted. And like I said earlier too, I just want to remind everybody, go to Google Analytics, check out your organic traffic sources. You're going to learn a lot from it. It's one thing is, do some checks to see what's ranking, but then check to see where people are actually coming into your website. And to the point you were just making, Sue, and we're talking there, you can also use Google Analytics to see the path, right? If people are going to your water heater page, from there, what are they doing? Oh, wow, look, 80% click back to the homepage, right? Just get inside that psychology and that flow, and that's going to help dictate what is on these pages and how you're using them. So.
That's great. Anything else you want to add, Bob?
No, that's it.
That's great. Okay, all you listeners, if you remember one thing and one thing only, remember that the homepage has many functions. It's a gateway to your website. Think of it as a gateway to your website. So it needs to engage visitors, so they want to see more. Think about if it's not the first page they see on your website when you're designing it and figuring out what content you want to put on there. It's not always where you want to direct your visitors, but inevitably they will be there at some point. So think about your homepage in a little bit of a different context. And I think that'll help you have a better website.
Yep. All right. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Actually, Sue, I'm sorry. Did you have anything else to say? I feel like I'm cutting you off.
Quote of the day again.
Yes.
Just because something doesn't do what you planned it to do doesn't mean it's useless.
Right.
Thank you, Thomas A. Edison.
Yeah, forget the number. Like, how many filaments did he go through trying to invent the light bulb, right? Like, that. You say that, and I'm just thinking about that story. I know if it wasn't in the thousands, it was in the high hundreds. I know it was a crap ton, right? And found some uses for a lot of those things, not in the light bulb, though, right? In addition to continuing the effort to get to the one that worked, learned a lot of things along the way, too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to print that out, Sue, and tuck it underneath the cushion of the couch, just ready to go. When certain accusations come up, I'm just going to pull that out and just hand it out. There you go.
Maybe you can get it a little audio of Thomas Edison's voice saying it.
Maybe you could laminate it, put it in the wallet, whatever, right? Just
exactly.
See where you're going with this, Bob. I can see all the uses.
That's right.
All right. Hopefully that helps you guys out listening. Not only from the SEO perspective, but again, just thinking about the challenging you to think about why people are going to your homepage, right? Not just from a ranking factor, but just the psychology of it. And check into it, check the analytics, put yourself in their shoes, put yourself on the other side of the keyboard, right? And make some changes. If that helped you out, great. If you have a question on this topic, let us know. If you have a question on anything else, SEO related, website related, things like that, that you think we can answer and help you out with and everybody else, please let us know. Going out to localseotactics.com, scroll down to the bottom, click the button for submit a question, type it in or call it in. If you do call it in, we'll use the audio on the show, which, by the way, if you do leave a recording, give a shameless plug to your website or something. Take advantage of it, right?
Right.
All 13 listeners are you're going to get massive exposure out there. And, but if you do call in and we use it, we're going to send you off a free t-shirt, free Intrix t-shirt in the mail. And really appreciate that. Whether you text it in, type it in, or call it in, whatever it is. The questions from you out there in the audience really help fuel the show and helps everybody listening, right? This community of people that listen to the show and interact with us. It really does help. So thanks for posing the question, Sue. Thanks for the great insight, Bob. Everybody else, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care.
Bye now.
See ya.